is. It's very soupy outside. That's because we have that westerly wind that's blowing over the Gulf, and the Gulf temperature is at 85. So you can imagine where that source of warm, humid, sauna-like air is coming from. If you take a dip in the Gulf, you know what it's coming from, right? Satellite radar showing that westerly wind pushing those showers from the coast to our interior, and this will be the trend come tomorrow, too. So for the remainder of tonight, yeah, we will have an isolated shower here and there. I know we had one recently in southern Pinellas County. You can see it right there on the loop when it starts. And then that kind of fizzled away. This is going to be the trend as we move into the rest of the night. Here we are at 6 o'clock. Northern Polk County could get a little bit of rain, and that carries into the overnight hours around 9 p.m. Last little pop there. Most of that, however, pushing off to the east.
New this afternoon.
You know, above ground. I don't have to worry about flooding. My house never floods. Well, just be aware that you may be stranded there. So I think a lot of hard lessons were learned in 2024. Hopefully, moving forward, listen, we all learned a little something. Even us here at 10 Tampa Bay, you know, it was just a rough season. All right, so let's get off into a good foot, right? We have our tropical outlook. No development expected the next several days. We have some Saharan dust out there. This is the time of year that we look for Saharan dust, but also this is the time of year where we pay attention to around the Caribbean, see if anything wants to spin up there. We really don't see too much action out here until we get later in the season, but the dust does help us out. For that reason, June is usually quieter out in the big Atlantic, open Atlantic. As we look at the moisture, we do have tropical moisture here. It's just not anything that we need to worry about. It has been providing some nice substantial downpours, which is helping to improve our drought conditions, right? The newest drought monitor updated every Thursday. We get the new release. This is moving into Monday, and we still have that moisture with us with that westerly wind, so that drives it into our area. That's why it feels so muggy and humid out, because it's moving right over the winds, right over the warm Gulf waters. As we move into this upcoming week, however, look at this, all this dry air that's nosing in, and the model has been going back and forth with this front because the models don't know what to do with a front this time of year because, let's be honest, we really don't see fronts sink to our area this time of the year. We get them in wintertime, but this is not the time of year for them. That will give us a little bit of a break with these everyday downpours, but it's a short break. We're only looking at that around Wednesday, Thursday. And look at this. This is an interesting feature, right? Is something trying to spin up? Well, the internet would tell you yes. If you go on the internet, there's a lot of things that are out there that will really try to spook you. Make sure you have a reliable source of information. We are not watching anything right now. If there's anything that we do need to tell you, we'll tell you. Now, here's something that's also helping us out. That's Saharan dust, big plume of it out in the open Atlantic. Some of that is drifting over here, and that's helping to dry us out as well. Looking at our rain chances now locally, you see that westerly wind pushing that rain across our interior. Polk County really seeing those isolated downpours at this time. We did have an isolated downpour in Pinellas County. Looks like Hillsborough County, there's one just exiting that area now. Hardy, DeSoto, Highlands, a little bit of rain that way too. Looking into futurecasts within the next hour, this is our in-house model showing less rain than the high resolution that I showed you at the start of the show. Moving forward into about 8:30, 9 o'clock, we'll have one more little pop for portions of Polk County and Highlands County. Not going to be a widespread rain event, but an isolated downpour not out of the question. As we move into early tomorrow morning, some of you may hear some rain wake you up around 3 a.m. or so, especially if you're in those northernmost counties. This is what happens with that westerly wind. Here's 10:30 tomorrow morning. Westerly wind drives the moisture into our Gulf Coast, and then those storms travel across our interior throughout the day and throughout the afternoon. So we're stuck in that pattern for at least the next couple of days, basically the opposite flip-flop of what we had last week. Expected rainfall over the next couple of days. It looks like a lot, but yeah, Wednesday, that's a change. Definitely more than 30% there. But we have to watch these models because, again, it doesn't know what to do with that front and that dry air that's just to the north of us. As we look at temperatures right now, we're in the upper 80s. We have some mid 80s out there as well. Feeling like the triple digits in many locations thanks to that extra humidity. And finally, on your 7-day forecast, yeah, start of hurricane season right around the corner. Monday begins, but thankfully we're going into it quiet.